Take off. Here we go. Gates down. 250B Limited taking the track. Here we go. KTM flying from the inside, but it looks like that might be the number 75 possibly of Jeremy Fapani grabbing the whole shot. And I'm telling you what, folks, that's bad news for the rest of the B class. Fapani leads them into turn 2, feet off the pegs. Look at that. The one rider almost coming to a complete stop on the outside of the turn. They're getting ready to make their way into the 10 Commandments for the first time. Fapani's got a white front fender just behind him, possibly the 32.
74.
The 74 maybe, I'm being told here.
404.
The 28 of Jared Hannon up there as well.
And so we've got most of the B Limited class coming through there, and that ought to tell you exactly what the conditions are like. You got most of the B class having to double, sometimes single their way almost all the way through. Is that your leader? Fapani goes down. I think Olaf just made a pass around another rider for the actual lead. Fapani trying to get the bike fired back up. He can't get the motorcycle to start. He's got another rider stuck behind him.
Oh.
Look at this. This is just an absolute traffic jam here as they make their way into Storyland. This is a scary story being told here right now for Fapani. The 75, look, I believe he's, and he gets collected by another rider going down. He's trying to get, and he is not happy right now. This is tough. This is one of those situations. It's just a bad deal for everybody involved. Fapani not giving up, picking that KTM back up. Looks like he's got it running, and Fapani is back out and on the roll, but he's got his work cut out for him. More chaos ensuing at the backside of the Rocky Mountain sand section. Your leader coming by the announcer's tower for the first time, and it is the number 14, Zayden Mason, putting it up front. Got a great drive around that sand sweeper.
I gotta go get a pick.
And the number 14
Number 71's in second.
getting the job done. We got the number 71 coming in second place.
22 is third.
And the number 22 in third.
And we've got like a 9-second gap on lap 1. Wow. Chaos. The turn 2, I don't know if you saw it, it collected everybody behind the top 10. I was sitting here watching. Turn 2 was absolute chaos. It was one after another just getting piled up, and man, that's given some breathing room for the leader.
Without a doubt, and that's kind of right now, that's a great thing. Not having any immediate pressure. Hey, I think the outside's going to be better here. Maybe the inside here, as we see the number 11 sitting in the second place spot now.
That is Mason Holsey there on that number 11 machine. And Zayden Mason, your leader there on that number 14, went 5 and 25 there in Moto 1 and 2.
Yeah, taking a look now, it looks like it's going to be Nettleton in the third place spot with Bell holding down fourth. Ralston rounds out the top 5 with Concannon knocking on the door as well. We're taking a look at our sheets in front of us, trying to put together exactly how this championship's going to shape up. But right now, there's Nettleton sitting in the third place spot, getting ready to head back towards Storyland. We've seen what happens there. Seems like you go towards that inside, right through there, really, really deep, coming to a stop, and especially on those first laps when the group is bunched up, all it takes is one rider to go down, and you can get caught up 4 or 5 riders deep.
Exactly, just like Jeremy Fapani just did, and that is your second Moto winner. He was second in your first Moto, so that is really going to change the championship fight for him. He'll have a lot of ground to make up in this one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we have so much trouble distinguishing who is who, because it'd be impressive to watch Fapani try to bring it back towards the front. Obviously, he's got the speed and the fitness to go along with it, so I expect him to be making a lot of passes. We'll update you as he pops his way onto our timing chart. But for right now, Mason on number 14, getting the job done with Halsey in second. There we see the number 11. Oh, get a big kick coming into that corner. And he comes to a stop in the inside line. He's going to get past. I believe that might be Nettleton getting around him. He's trying to fire the Yamaha back up. And he's off and rolling, slinging mud. And, oh, problems for, I believe, 28 maybe. That's Hannon on the KTM possibly. That is the 28. Slicing through the puddle there.
And looking at the top 10 after the first two motos, I think only 3 are in the top 10 in this moto. So definitely going to be a shakeup in the scores coming out of this one.
Yeah, this is. I'm glad I'm not the guy in charge of doing the championship math here, because there's going to be a ton of passes all the way to the end in these conditions. Oftentimes, those last couple laps, people have settled into their spot. Here, there's going to be flip-flopping all the way down the top 40.
Our screen is showing Jeremy Papani checked in that 21st place. So going 2-1-21, if it finished the way it is now, that would put him third in this championship on that number 75 KTM.
And isn't that crazy? Papani possibly still able to put it on the podium here, and I think he's only going to move forward, barring any more tip-overs or mistakes. And we're watching the number 11 trying to come back after getting caught up on that inside line in the stand section.
And Jeremy Papani has moved all the way up into 11th place. That is going to put him second in this championship fight right now. Leah Olaf there on that number 32 is going to be in that number 1 spot as far as the championship is concerned.
And hey, attention on site, attention on site. We need Wyatt Thurman and Darren Pine from 85, 10 to 12. Wyatt Thurman and Darren Pine, we need you to bring your Moto 3 medals up to the trackside office. Once again, from race number 4, 85, 10 to 12, we need Wyatt Thurman and Darren Pine to bring their Moto 3 medals up to the trackside office. Now, back to the action on track, watching a rider head their way back into Storyland. And the stories this corner is going to be able to tell right here, Jackson.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And guys, the rain has pretty much stopped out there, so it is really starting to thicken up, and you can see the weight on those bikes as the fenders are flapping coming through Storyland.
Yeah, everybody might be saying, oh great, the rain stopped. It's a double-edged sword there, because just like Stu was talking about earlier, this mud's going to start thickening up. You'll see it collecting on top of the riders, collecting on the helmet, collecting on the front, collecting on the bikes, basically making the bike drag around an extra 50, 60 plus pounds.
Stu mentioning maybe wanting to hit some of the puddles to wash some of that off, and I think that'd be good advice going into these next few motos.
And that's those little tricks and trades, those little insights. Not something that everybody be thinking about. Hey, maybe this lap avoid the puddle, but next lap maybe I should hit this one real quick. Ain't that right, Stu?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously not in a corner, but if you see one in a straightaway, you know it's not too deep. I would take advantage of it for the radiators and seg the bikes. I mean, we've seen bikes blowing up just after a deep prep out here. So, you know, 20 minutes, which I guess now it's a little bit shorter, but 15 minutes, as hard as these bikes can go, is definitely going to get these things hot and cause some issues as they're checking through the finish here for lap 3. Let's see some lap times. I think we've got some guys in the back just around that top 10 that are running some really fast laps. So look at third place. So Olaf has made his way up to third place with a 2:37. Still not up there with the leader, but look at the lap time here for 5th place, checking in with a 2:24. So let's see, where does that put him for the championship? I think we've got one rider on the move, and he's moving fast.
So the rider that has now moved his way into the third place spot, the 32 of Liam Olam, he is coming in with a 1-2 so far. So this is for a championship right here if he can continue to keep the pace up. Now the rider that he's got to worry about is the 75 of Jeremy Fapani. Fapani's scores are coming in a 2-1, so they are tied coming into this final race, and Fapani has already worked his way.
He's 4 seconds down, but ran an 11-second faster lap time. So Fapani is the 75 that we saw go all the way to dead last in Storyland on lap 1. This guy is riding with a vengeance.
And guys, Fapani only has to get past one more rider, and that will put him in the driver's seat as far as the championship is concerned. So this next lap is going to be a crucial one going into this championship.
No, it's 8. No, he has 8 and 6. So sorry, he has 2 more passes.
Two more passes.
We
did some wrong math. Thanks, Kevin. So 2 more passes, but that is very likely here in this one, as he has been able to come back from 21st there on that first lap.
And I think that might actually be the 95 that we were looking at, Evan Stewart, and he is battling with Olaf. I believe that should be the 32 right there on the Yamaha, making his way through the Rocky Mountain sand section. You can see, I mean, bikes, riders, everybody stuck on track here. And look, we got a pass coming. I think this is Fapani.
I think this is for the overall right here, and pass around the outside. That I see a 5, so it's got to be him. Absolutely on rails. This kid is determined after that lap 1. I mean, he was 42nd. We saw him check in 21st, but that kid came out behind every rider on the field.
He's riding orange, but he was seeing red. 40th after that crash. White flag coming out, your leader. 1 to go. Fapani tiptoeing his way through the inside. And they are on their last lap.
On screen is your leader. That is the number 14 of Zayden Mason, making his way into that comedic corner, now into the 10 Commandments. And look at how that hard base is starting to show itself now.
Yeah, you're starting to see almost the hints of red underneath. Mason been able to keep the goggles on, stay out of trouble so far. Curious, this might be the 22 of Nettleton.
And I got to call this right now, but I think Fapani's going to come up to second. He's still running a 2:25. We're second place at 2:38, 12-second deficit. This kid is hungry.
Yeah, Fapani absolutely a man on a mission.
Fapani is in the driver's seat as far as the championship is concerned. If he'll place where he is now, he is good to go as far as the championship. So he needs to concentrate on the end goal here in this one.
Evan Stewart checking in 4th. Liam Olaf rounding out the top 5. Then Jared Hannon, Dylan Howard, Mason Halsey, Ryder Bell, and Ronald Johnson sitting in the top 10 with 1 to go. Taking a look on screen.
That is
a lot of outsides I'm seeing. They've been listening to Stu Baylor.
And I'm just looking back in the storyline right now, and it looks like we've got the second place and the third place guy sitting in the same long, muddy corner. So I think we've got about 6 seconds for him to catch up to that second place, and he's cut that deficit in half the track.
This is incredible to watch. Fapani, we didn't even think he was quite close enough to be considered for a pass. Then he shows up out of nowhere, blows by, and is still charging forward.
And that is Jeremy Fapani on your screen now.
And you can see still fighting the bike, front end going every which way, just hanging on for dear life as he makes his way through the Rocky Mountain sand section for the final time. This should be your leader on screen, getting ready to come to the checkered flag. The number 14 of Zayden Mason gonna grab that 3rd moto win here in 250B Limited. And we're watching outside the tower, see whether or not we're gonna have a pass for 2nd and 3rd.
All right, so Zayden Mason winning this one. That's going to put him 5th overall in the championship as we wait for our 2nd and 3rd place to come through the finish line. Who is it going to be? Is Jeremy Fapani going to be able to get in that 2nd? And no, he is not. There they are now on screen. So it is going to be Mason Nettleton with that 2nd place. Jeremy Fapani going to round out our top 3 in the moto, and Jeremy Fapani is going to be your 250B limited champion.
How about that? Fapani had to fight tooth and nail to bring that thing home too. At one point in the race was almost dead last, brings it back to 3rd. So we're going to wait to see the rest of the top 5 there. It looks like Stewart should be checking in 4th. Liam Olaf was last shown in 5th. Dylan Howard actually jumps up into the 4th place spot with Jared Hannon grabbing 5th. And JJ Kincannon 6th. Mason Halsey rounds up in 7th. I'm sure Jason's down there trying to get everybody wrangled together. Once again, we've got a white Chevy Silverado behind the work area that needs to be moved. And we're going to now get a look at your top 10 officially here. Zayden Mason, Mason Nettleton, Jeremy Fapani, Dylan Howard, Jared Hannon, JJ Kincannon, Mason Halsey, Evan Stewart, Ryder Bell, and Ryder Gwynn rounding out the top 10. And I believe we are going to throw it down to Jason Wygant, getting ready to talk to your podium and crown us a champion.
Thanks, boys. Just had to make sure that 3rd place finisher came across to win the title. Now we're ready. Congratulations to our moto winner in the mud out front, Zayden Mason. This bike's pretty trashed. Honestly, I saw you a couple times out there. It almost seemed like you were good. Seemed like you were riding well.
Yeah, I just maintained a safe pace and didn't do anything over my head.
Yeah. Has to be fun, though, to be out front Loretta's, whatever the conditions are.
Oh, yeah. It's fun when you're in first in the mud, but when you're far back, it's no fun at all.
Yeah. Who do you want to thank for this, Zayden?
I would like to thank Coach Rob from Complete Racing Solutions, SSR, Big St. Charles, Mika Metals, Nahilo, EVS, and anyone else who support me and family here. Thank you, guys.
Zayden Mason with your Moto win. I do need to take the bike off because we're going to bring up the third place machine to crown a champion. I'm looking for Mason Nettleton, our second place finisher. We'll bring up Mason Nettleton. So we had Zayden Mason with the win, Mason Nettleton with second. This is 250B Limited. And it's getting wilder and wilder with these motos. I mean, this championship comeback was unreal. Let's hear it from Mason Nettleton. Here, come on front here. How was that one?
It was wet, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hey, let's get the number 75 motorcycle and rider on up. So, Mason, any scary moments out there, or you felt fairly in control?
Felt pretty good. Start was a little sketchy. I pretty much fell right over the gate, but ended up coming around the third turn pretty good and did it.
All right, who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, Chris and Kylie Canning, Justin Coquinos, Motorbikes Plus, Need for Speed Racing, Capella Racing, Power Band Suspension. Is that it? I think FXR 60. Yeah, everyone else. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Mason, second place. And now we'll bring the number 75 up, and this is an all-time digging it out ride. Trouble early, comes back late, salvages a podium, and with it, most importantly, the championship. And this is going to be a battle all week, we knew, between Fapani and Olaf, and Fapani comes out on top. Let's bring the rider up. Oh, he's posing for the videos right now. What a comeback in the mud. Let's hear it for Jeremy Fapani. Unbelievable. I'm going to welcome Olivia from the AMA up to present the #1 plate. Jeremy also grabbed the Stasic Whole Shot Award. And there it is, our 250B Limited champion. And hold that too. I don't know, you got to hold the gold helmet. We got whole shots. Well, look, anyone looking at the photo right now would be like, oh, Fapani got the whole shot and he got the title. It was easy. No, man, you were buried. Yep. You were buried.
Yeah, so got off to a really sick start. You know, got out of the gate really good. Just grabbed good shifts, had a really good rut coming out, and yeah, we were going good. And then I truly didn't think it was nearly that deep. That was the gnarliest track I've ever ridden. So came out of the triple into Storyland, and then over that roller just got a little top heavy. Went over, had people coming into me. Couldn't get the bike started. I was sitting there and I was like, oh, we're done. But yeah, I didn't think I was going that good, and then saw 32 and I was like, oh, we're good. So I'm pumped on that. And yeah, that was one of my favorite motos I've ever done, and I'm just pumped right now.
Oh, it's unbelievable to make that comeback. Never give up, right?
Exactly.
Who do you want to thank, Jeremy?
My mom, my dad, my mechanics, Tyler and Wyatt. Beeks, he's been a huge help all year. KTM Orange Brigade, 100%. Monster Mike and the whole Monster crew. Dunlop Tires. AEO Suspension, you guys have been huge this week. Bike's been working amazing. Pro Taper, my trainers Jared, Ivan, whole Baker's Factory, you guys, you're the guys that got me here, so thank you very much.
Jeremy Fapani is your champ. 250B Limited in wild circumstances. We had him outside the top 20. He comes back for a 30, gets it done. These guys can pose for some photos. I'm going to give him the very muddy now Oakley certificate to get a pair of sunglasses. And the only thing left to do is spray some champagne. I'm going to send it back up.